We had now upgraded to the JMG systems, replacement captain's chairs, got two armrests, both sides. And Luke, like, give me your honest opinion.
They're excellent.
They're
really
excellent.
good support. Almost feels like you're on an air ride seat base. Good shock absorption, and yeah, the armrests are awesome too.
When I recline here, the armrests stay level.
So thank you to the Pad Overland guys, Joel and Luke, for that awesome little testimonial video. Because of that, I want to talk about our cruiser front seat with the transit seat adapter. So one of the things I want to highlight today is all the different features, what you could do with the transit adapter kit in our cruiser seats. So let's just go over some of the basics. So one of the reasons why we came up with this seat is because we have two transit vans ourselves, and we noticed that the transit factory seats aren't very comfortable. So we wanted to come up with a better solution for the front seats, the driver and passengers. One of the first things I noticed right away is the fact that the driver's seat doesn't have an armrest on the door side. So we added two armrests, one on the door side. On the passenger side, it also has an extra armrest on that side as well too. So we've solved that issue with the factory seat by adding an extra armrest. One of the cool features about this front seat is the fact that it's very well padded, custom molded foam that we developed ourselves. It's our next gen molded foam that we use for the cruiser front seat. Another thing we did for the front seat is we designed a longer seat pan for better leg support, more comfort. An adjustable headrest here for the taller folks, so you can adjust the headrest an extra 2 inches. We also made some adjustments in the transit adapter kit so that taller folks, people who are about 6'4", 6'5", all the way to 6'7", will notice that when they sit down in our cruiser seat, when it's slid all the way back, they'll basically have an extra 2 inches of leg room between their knees and the underside of the dash while they're driving. It's a big improvement over the factory seat, because a lot of folks who are right around 6'4" to 6'7" were always complaining about the fact that they didn't have enough leg room. So we addressed that with our adapter kit. One of the other things that we've done is our standard color is black. We finished our seat in a black vinyl with a perforated center. We use perforations in the center to keep your body cool on those hot summer days. Perforation allows your body to breathe, so that's a big plus. Our cruiser front seat with the transit adapter kit bolts down directly onto the factory seat base as we've demonstrated here in our sample. Just a run-of-the-mill factory seat base. This is a factory seat base for the driver's side. One thing you'll notice here is we are using our cruiser front seat with our low-profile seat adapter here, which makes it compatible with an aftermarket swivel. In this case, we have the Cool Lens swivel here adapted onto the factory seat base. So we've got the factory seat base, a Cool Lens transit swivel for the transit manual front seat. So if you get this combination, then you can use our cruiser front seat with the low profile transit adapter and bolt it right on to the aftermarket swivel. So that's a big plus. Another thing we had to do to make sure everything works with the transit and the factory settings is we integrated two seatbelt brackets on either side of the seat. On the aisle side, you can basically remove your factory seatbelt receiver and bolt it right up to this bracket. On the door side, we have another bracket right over here. So basically your seatbelt coming out of the D-pillar would bolt right up into this bracket here, and then you'd be good to go and use our seat with the factory seat belts. Right here we have our manual recline lever. It's a manual slide, so we've got 6 inches of forward and back travel. So you've got your towel bar here between your legs, so when you need to get closer or further away from the steering wheel, you just lift up on this handle and slide it back and forth. As you notice, our towel bar doesn't interfere with the swivel handle here. Swivel it like you would inside the van. A recliner lever in this example here is on the left-hand side, so this would be a passenger seat. And you've got two armrests so that as you're driving, you can essentially just rest your arms on the armrest, hold onto your steering wheel, and just do your thing. Enjoy those long rides and whatnot. Another benefit of our cruiser front seat, you'll notice that we have a nice little map pocket in the back so you can store extra stuff. We know storage in the van is critical, so wherever possible, we like to add little pockets, cubby holes, so you can store different things. Our transit adapter kit with the cruiser front seat is a great combination for transit van users. Allows you to get this really comfortable front seat into the driver's position and passenger position in the transit van. One of the reasons why our seat is just so comfortable is because we've got about 4 inches of custom molded foam riding on top of a really nice layer of springs. So regardless of how long you've been sitting in the seat, your body weight's just going to naturally compress the foam. And then when that does happen, you're still riding on a bed of springs. So you always have that nice cushy ride that Luke mentions in the video there. It feels like you're riding on like an air ride seat. That's what makes our seat so comfortable. That coupled with the fact that we have a nice big wide seat cushion so that you can just get comfortable. You're not stuck in one position. You're free to kind of move around as you normally would while you're driving, trying to get comfortable and just, you know, fidget around, move around like you have to. Our seat allows you to do that. Other things that I want to point out is that we have designed our cruiser front seat with lumbar support already designed into the frame. If you were to look at the side profile of our frame, if you follow this here, you'll see that the profile of the back kind of follows the natural curvature of your back. It's not a flat back like the factory seat or other seats that you find out there. There's a natural curvature that kind of hugs your natural curvature of your spine, and that's what makes the seat so much comfortable as well. That and the fact that the two armrests are nice and well padded, wide and long, so when you're sitting down, we designed it such that your elbows will be right there, right on that leading edge of the armrest, so you can hold onto that steering wheel in a nice comfortable position. Here in our JMG transit van, our demo van, we've got the cruiser front seats already installed. As you can tell, the seat on the passenger side has a swivel. The other seat is just in our standard height, the 17.5 with the fixed adapter plate. Passenger seat here has the cool ends swivel, so you can tell that's why we were able to spin the seat around. And again, now you can just see how nice that looks to have basically a cruiser front seat spun around facing the rear of your van. So when you get to your destination, you want to hang out in some nice comfortable chairs, you can do that just by spinning around and grabbing a seat, sitting down, and you can enjoy the view through your back doors, through the side doors, or hang out with some friends and family inside your van. Another thing I want to talk about is the fact that this seat is available with heater options, so we can add a heater to the center section in the back and then the seat. That's an option, so if you're interested in ordering the seats with heaters, that is an option. If your van comes with heaters already, our seats with the heater option does come with a pigtail that you can connect to the harness underneath your seat, so your controls that are already in the van will basically switch on and off the heaters. If your van doesn't have heaters, but you want to add heaters to the front seats that you order from us, our heaters do come with a simple little toggle switch. You'll have to wire that into a power source inside your van underneath the seat, and then that way you can toggle them off and on as needed. There are two settings. There's a low and a high, and then of course off. So I just want to review the different heights available with the transit seat adapters and the cruiser front seats. We have two standard heights. Our standard height, if you want a non-swivel seat, is basically going to be 17.5 inches from the top edge of the seat to the floor of the van for tall to average height people. If you're a little shorter, or if you like being lower to the ground while you're driving, we do offer an alternate seating position, and that's going to be 16.5 inches in height. And then if you want to have the cruiser front seat mounted onto an aftermarket swivel, we do offer our seat adapter in a low profile form so that you can mount that onto an aftermarket swivel. In this case here, we're using a cool land swivel for a transit with a manual seat. So that's an important feature that I want to point out, so that if you're going to order our seat with a low profile seat adapter for an aftermarket swivel, you have to make sure you order the Cool Lands transit swivel for the manual seat, because that's going to come in at about 1 1/4 inch in height. And we've designed our seat adapter to work with that, so that when you use the manual transit front seat swivel from Cool Lands with our low profile seat adapter, the overall seat height with that combination is going to come in just a hair over 17.5 inches. Other things that I want to cover are some commonly asked questions that we get from different customers. One of them being, you have factory seat with factory swivels, and they want to know, can you keep the factory swivels and use our cruiser front seat? Unfortunately, we cannot do that because there's no way of easily separating the factory swivel from the factory seat and adapting our seat to the factory swivel. So unfortunately, we cannot have that combination. Another commonly asked question is, you have a factory seat with a 10-way power base. Can you reuse that factory 10-way power base? And the answer is no. Again, unfortunately, the way Ford designed that seat and packaged everything together, they packaged everything so tightly that we cannot separate the two and reuse the factory 10-way power base and our cruiser front seat. I wish we could. That would make our lives and the customer lives a lot easier. Unfortunately, we just cannot do that. Another commonly asked question that we get is our cruiser front seat come with a power recline and a power base? At this moment, we don't offer that. We will be looking into that in the near future, and once we find something that works and allows us to do that, we'll post that up on our website and we'll post a video regarding that. So stay tuned. So I quickly want to talk about our cruiser front seats and the seatbelt adapters. As I mentioned previously, our cruiser front seat for the Transit application comes with 2 seatbelt brackets, one on either side. As you can tell here, the factory seatbelt receiver fits right into our seatbelt bracket on the aisle side. On the opposite side, close to the B pillar on the door, we do have another bracket there. If you look here, we have another bracket here that receives the seatbelt on the door side next to the B pillar using the factory bolt. So there's nothing that needs to be done there other than just removing that bolt off the factory seat and transferring that over into the bracket here.